Kansas City. We'll start with the Royals, though, with Bill Althaus. He's a sports writer at the Examiner in the Kansas City area. Bill, welcome to the show.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Sure.
Bill could probably tell us. Bill, how many
name everybody
in the Chiefs
Ring of Fame.
I thought.
Yeah, they had to expand the upper deck of the stadium to get all the names in there.
Well,
I mean, you look up there and when you see a Buck Buchanan, a Willie Lanier, a Len Dawson, and then you see like a Dave Hill and a Gary Spaney. Like there were some lean years they had to put a name up there, but the guys are legit that are up there.
Sure, that's the only reason why it came up. You weren't listening. Is there's a discussion about the Broncos Ring of Fame, and I said it seems like a lot of players on the Ring of Fame till I go to Kansas City every year, and I go, my God, is there anybody that played on the team that isn't in the Ring of Fame?
Hey, Bill, the Royals had the Blue Jays down 3-1. It's now 3-2, and David Price is on the mound for the Blue Jays. So nobody would be surprised if it's 3-3 after this next game. How nervous are the Royals?
I tell you what, I just got home from the stadium, and Ned Yost said, and looking at these guys, you'd think this was Game 6 of spring training. They don't appear, if they're nervous, they're covering it up very, very well, and so is their manager.
I'm going to bring up something that I haven't heard anybody discuss today. We're getting really bad rain in Denver. That means it's headed to Kansas City.
Yes.
What is the weather prospects for tomorrow night when they do play Game 6?
We're supposed to get hammered tonight with rain, and as I drove home from the stadium, the clouds were following me home. It kind of looks like those thunder type clouds from a horror movie, but it's supposed to be clear and look pretty good tomorrow night. And we know what happened last time with Ventura. The 3 runs in the first inning, the rains came, and he was out of the game. And he's a young kid that if he can go out and pitch, he's fine. But he just doesn't handle any distractions well at all.
Bill, it seems to me that even though the term nervous is mentioned, that if I'm the Kansas City Royals, and that's a normal question we get on around the horn, is which team would you rather be? I'd rather be the Kansas City Royals.
Sure.
And maybe I'm being the master of the obvious here, but man, if you're the Royals, you want to get into the Blue Jays bullpen, and if you're the Blue Jays, you really don't want to get into the. Is that a fair assessment of how the next 1 or 2 games will be?
Oh, that's the perfect assessment. Absolutely. If they can get 5 innings, decent innings, 2, 3, 4 runs out of Ventura tomorrow, then go to the bullpen. Ned Yost did something out of character yesterday. He brought in some guys from the bullpen who usually come in with a clean slate. And, Yordano Ventura had more pitches over 100. I'm sorry, not Yordano Ventura. Kelvin Herrera had more pitches over 100 miles per hour this season than any other pitcher in the American League. But big league pitchers are going to hit 100-mile-an-hour fastballs. He came in with the bases loaded. He struck out the side that inning, but Josh Donaldson hit a double, scored 3 runs, and really put the game out of reach the way that Estrada was pitching for Toronto. So if he can go Madsen, Herrera, and then Wade Davis, who just, hell on earth, you lose a guy like Greg Holland, who's won the Mariano Rivera Award last year as the best reliever in baseball, and you lose him as your closer, and then Wade Davis just moves 1 inning down, and to me, Davis is head and shoulders the most effective and the best pitcher on the Royals. So the Royals bullpen nails, like you say, they need a lot from David Price tomorrow, I think, to win the game.
Bill, I don't know if I'm the only one, but I've used the word grinders to describe the Kansas City Royals. Can beat you with power, can beat you with speed, can beat you with starting pitching, can beat you in the bullpen. How would you characterize these Royals? Because this really is a team that will not go away.
Oh, absolutely. Last year, I certainly want to concentrate on this year, but last year, winning that wild card game in 12 innings, it was almost like over a 4-hour and 9-minute game, this team learned how to win, what it took to win after not reaching postseason play for 29 years. This year, they were expected to do well, and they are doing well, but they win in so many different ways. And I thought we'll never, ever see another game that could come close to that wild card game last year. We've had 2 games this year, one against the Jays and David Price, and one against Houston when, the Royals it's getting down to the nitty-gritty. And they just find a way to win. They are grinders. They've got a line. Keep that line moving. and nobody's going up there trying to hit a home run with down 4 or 5 runs. They just want to get on base. They just want to do something positive. And the way that Alcides Escobar has played from that leadoff position is insane. There's no way he should be a leadoff hitter. You talk to Dayton Moore, you talk to Ned Yost, and they're like, his on-base percentage is like 297, and they're 46 games over 500 with him in the leadoff position. Ned tried to mess around with it a little bit and put Zobrist and Alex Gordon back up in the leadoff position, and they won 11 games in the month of September. So there are things that work that are unconventional. There are things that work that you don't understand why they work, but you're certainly not going to mess with them now.
Final short question, Bill. Do you think the Mets want the Royals or the Blue Jays, or would like to avoid one of those two teams?
Boy, that Met team scares me. Boy, with their starting pitching, and a week ago I didn't know who Daniel Murphy was. Now, here he is pictured next to Lou Gehrig on everything. So I think that I'm from Kansas City. I think the Royals are the better team. I'm concerned about tomorrow night because I think Price is an outstanding pitcher, and sometime, my God, the guy's got to win a postseason game, and I just hope it's not tomorrow night. So I would say they would rather face the Jays because with their pitching, I think they can handle those mashers in the middle. Whereas with the Royals, when you've got Alex Gordon hitting 8th, that shows you how even keel from 1 to 9 the Kansas City Royals offensive lineup is.
Hey, Bill, how can people read your stuff? Twitter and at the Examiner.
At Althaus, ALTHAUS EJC, and Examiner.net or Bill.Althaus at Examiner.net.
Beautiful. Hey, Bill, appreciate your time.
Hey, anytime, guys. Thanks a million.
All right, Bill Althaus of Examiner.com.